You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, the most positive business talk show in America. Best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, are inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Angel still under the weather today, so you've got me, and I invite you to join our program if you would like. At any point when a conversation hits a note that says, hey, you know something, I got something to contribute, pick up the phone and call me at 303-632-4160, 303-632-4160. And let's chat it out. You are welcome here on the Experience Pros Radio Network. Let's talk about building trust with your customers. Again, I've told you that Angel and I have kind of ascertained simply by observing and the fact of the nature of our business. We get to speak to influencers on a regular basis every single day here on the Experience Pros Radio Show. We believe that 2018 is the year of the micro-influencer. And what is a micro-influencer except someone that a number of people trust, right? So let's talk about how to build that trust. Building a successful company depends on a lot of different factors. There's your product, right? Maybe your service, your ability to price it effectively and position it so that it's in front of your target customers when they're ready to buy. But while your product market fit might get you sales, lasting business success comes down to more intangible factors, such as the way the customers feel about your brand or how much they trust you to deliver whatever you have promised. According to Rare Consulting, while general purchases are driven by price, that's 81% of those, quality and convenience, loyalty is about likability and trust. Let me read that again. While general purchases are driven by price, quality, and convenience, loyalty is about likability and trust. Reader's Digest Trusted Brand Survey confirmed that, saying that 79% of the participants would choose a brand that's been identified as trusted over another brand when product quality and price are similar. Simply put, your price, your quality, or even your convenience might score you some sales, but your brand's likability and trust win you relationships. What have we always said here? The Ericisms and Angelosophies of this program, one of which is it doesn't matter what business you're in. You're in the relationship business, right? Doesn't matter what you know, who knows you. Not who you know, who knows you is of critical and paramount importance. So let's talk about some different techniques you can use to develop that all-important trust with your customers, both online and in person. Number one, you have got to define your brand promise. Your brand promise has, and by the way, we've dedicated an entire chapter in our book, Lists That Saved My Business, to this product, to this concept. Your brand promise is everything about what your customers or your prospects say, wow, I know that I can trust you, Experience Pros, for this. One of our brand promises, positive business talk. You never hear us bad-mouthing anybody here on the radio. We don't do that. It's our brand promise, positive business talk. Okay? How do you do that? It says you can't create a trustworthy brand if a business model is built on deceiving consumers or tricking customers into buying from you. At least you can't do that for a long period of time. Take the example of Craigslist, which data from Alignable suggests is one of the least trusted brands in the hiring space. You ever go out to try to find somebody else to hire and you hit Craigslist? It's not very reliable. Building that consumer trust begins with the process of defining who your company is and what it actually stands for. Who are you? What do you stand for? Researchers at Gallup call this your company's brand promise and define it as representing everything that your company stands for. It's the unique statement of what the company offers and what separates it from rivals and what makes it worthy of your customers' consideration. Unfortunately, Gallup reports that only half of the customers believe the companies they do business with always deliver on what they promise. When asked, only 27% of employees strongly agree that they always deliver on the promises they make to their customers. Did you hear that? Employees, 27%. That's all. Say we actually follow through with what we promise. That's powerful, folks. So what does an effective brand promise look like? Well, good news, it doesn't have to be lengthy or complicated. Stella Service highlights several different examples from well-known companies. You might recognize these. Geico, what's their brand promise? 15 minutes or less can save you 15% or more on car insurance. That's it, right? Nike, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Starbucks, to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, one neighborhood at a time. Marriott, quiet luxury, crafted experiences, intuitive service. Walmart, save money, live better. Right? I mean, the list goes on, but you get the idea. Some of those brand promises focus on financial savings. Some of them focus on experience. In all cases, though, the advantages the company offers and the promise it makes to the consumers are clearly and concisely stated. And by the way, there is no room for slippage in this. If you go to Walmart and you don't get that brand promise fulfilled, the people will turn on them, right? And you'll see that in the social sphere as well. You need to improve your brand credibility. This is where that influencer side of things comes in, folks. Having a thoughtfully delivered brand promise is important. Deploying it to your target audience is even more so. Your brand promise doesn't exist in a vacuum, shouldn't at least exist in a vacuum. For it to make a difference in your prospects' purchase behavior, it needs to be both actively promoted and fundamentally believable. This is where your credibility comes into play. How do you get credibility? You earn it. You earn it. Can you buy it? You can buy a fast track to it, sure. But there's, one of the things that we do, we put people on the radio, right? We tell your story on the radio, not so that you can sales pitch anybody. That's not what we do. But we put your story because you're the expert. You want to be one of our correspondent hosts like Coach Brew or like Pam Atherton, like Rob Johnson. You want to be one of those to tell your story so that you can build credibility. And the results are instantaneous because you immediately can say, I'm a contributor host on a nationally syndicated business talk show. Is there a price associated with that? Sure, of course there is. There's a price associated with any service that gets you to build whatever it is you're trying to build. However, is it worth it? Well, we're talking about building customers' trust, and credibility is step 2. You've got to have it. There's very few shortcuts to credibility, but we have put you on a systematized process that gets you there. For more information on that, just check out youontheradio.com, youontheradio.com, and you'll see every step that we take. You'll see everything laid out that we offer, and you'll see every benefit that you stand to gain. And the next question is, are you ready? Are you ready for that kind of credibility? Are you ready to take the next step? And let's talk about presumed credibility for a minute, because presumed credibility is based on our general assumptions and is the easiest of the 4 types to improve upon. Okay. So we tend, for example, to view known brands as being more credible than those we don't know. That seems fairly easy to understand. So if then knowing a brand automatically makes it more credible, the simple solution is to make more people familiar with your company. How do you do that? You use rush your message out to a much larger audience, and then you build your audience at the same time. We've got this stuff down to a science, folks, and it's a system that works. It works over and over with predictable results. If you're looking at the equation saying, when's my phone going to ring for the transaction? You're missing the point. Before transactions comes credibility. Before transactions comes customer trust. Remember, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. That's Bob Berg said that, and it's still true to this day. You want to become one of those people that people know, like, and trust. You got to make sure that you build this credibility. You could maintain an active social media presence. You could contribute guest articles to blogs in your industry. You could set out press releases to get featured by the media. You could purchase paid ads, and you could sponsor events in your industry. The list goes on. You're going to want to choose the marketing tactics that are best suited for your industry. I'm going to carry this conversation on because there's far more to building this brand awareness. So stick with us. You're listening to Eric right here on the Experience Pros Radio Network, home of the most positive business talk show in the country.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.
KDMT, Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
Stuck in an expensive timeshare contract and feel like there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group. I've helped thousands of people get rid of their timeshares.
I didn't realize what I was getting into. The whole thing was just a scam. I finally found information on Chuck, and he agreed to meet us. It was just a wonderful experience because he knows that business inside out, and he actually wanted to solve our problem.
I fought the largest timeshare company in federal court, and yes, I won. Whether you owe $10,000 to $250,000 on your timeshare, we can help cancel your mortgage. When you're approved as a client, I guarantee you a 100% success rate. We'll get you out of your timeshare, eliminate your payments, and get them off of your back permanently. And we proudly hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Call Wesley Financial Group now for your free consultation at 800-786-9300. That's 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300.
The Denver Business Journal and Colorado Business Roundtable are teaming up to host the Democratic and Republican governor candidate forums. The same pairing that brings you the Finding Colorado's Next Governor series on Connect and Collaborate will bring the leading candidates together to discuss the critical business issues facing our state, along with conversations addressing transportation, infrastructure, education, para reform, energy, attainable housing, and budget issues. Matters that will determine Colorado's economic future and our competitiveness in years to come. The Republican Candidates Forum will be held February 21st at History, Colorado, and will host the Democratic Candidates Forum on March 29th, also at History, Colorado, both with registration and breakfast starting at 7 a.m., followed by the debates. To register or for sponsorship opportunities, visit the cobrt.com events page. Tickets for one event are $50, or you can register for both at a discount. Join the DBJ and COBRT to learn about the men and women running for Colorado governor.
Message and data rates may apply.
You don't follow the herd. You blaze your own trail. And you're as adventurous in the kitchen as you are in life. Whether it's paddleboard yoga or Peruvian steak, you're the first to try new things. So are we. We're Green Chef, the first USDA-certified organic meal kit delivery service. We offer delicious meal plans for 7 different lifestyles: paleo, gluten-free, keto, vegetarian, vegan, carnivore, and omnivore. Want to be the first of your friends to try Green Chef? Discover our exclusive introductory deal by texting the keyword COOK to 543-543. We believe that cooking, just like life, should be all about experience and flavor. And by exploring dinner options with Green Chef, you'll try new recipes, techniques, and ingredients for bold, new restaurant-level flavors. It's like enjoying a new cooking class, but in your own home. To experience this culinary adventure, text now and discover our exclusive introductory deal. Text COOK to 543-543. That's COOK to 543-543.
Attention business owners. Laura Pensatencio, online marketing expert, will be hosting the Social Savvy Geek Show. She'll provide education and actionable insights for entrepreneurs and small business owners in need of consistent leads and sales. Laura will help you find, engage, and convert your ideal clients. The Social Savvy Geek Show is on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 10 a.m. Join Laura, Social Savvy Geek, at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on Denver's Money Talk, 1690 a.m. KDMT.
Take your home like it is and let us help you make it like you want it. Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. We've been doing just that for over 30 years now. 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Hey, we know this radio station is your favorite, but did you know you can find even more great Christian stations now on ChristianRadio.com? More stations, more podcasts, and more uplifting faith-building programs. Download the app now by visiting ChristianRadio.com.
This is the Experience Pros Radio Show. Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Yeah, you know we will. We will interact with you live on the show. That's what this is all about, the Experience Pros Radio Show. Positive business talk, empowering you to build your brand right here on the radio. We're in the middle of a conversation about how to build trust with your customers. And we crossed into improving brand credibility and then talking about how to improve your credibility across presumed credibility. And that comes with maintaining an active social media presence, contributing to guest articles or posts on your blog in your industry, sending out press releases to get featured by the media. By the way, if you are interested in taking your game to the next level, to get major market media interested in your message, not just the Experience Pros Radio Show, but in a general sense, download our free report on how to get featured on the radio. It's complimentary. It's 7 steps. It's actually the 7 steps that Angel and I used when we started our program almost 8 years ago. And we encourage you to do the same and check it out. You can go to massivemediaexposure.com, massivemediaexposure.com. Put your name and email in, and we'll send you the report. It's free. And if you do step number 7, I promise you this, if you do step number 7, you will see immediate results by way of having an aggregation company know who you are. And these people are the ones who put you in connection with the reporters and the show producers of American major market media. So if you're interested, go check out massivemediaexposure.com. Put your name and email in. We'll take care of you there. So we talk about presumed credibility. Let's talk about reputed credibility. This comes from third-party references. These may occur in the form of referrals from friends or family members or from reviews left online by past customers. And because you're drawing on the experiences of a diverse audience, there are a number of different strategies you can use to improve your reputed credibility. To access a prospect's direct contacts, test the impact of a referral marketing program. Referral marketing is kind of a cool thing. These programs work because, as Nielsen reports, 92% of customers trust referrals that come from the people that they know. What kind of programs are there? Well, for years and years, we had the Extreme Customer Service Directory. It's a third-party review site, right? You've got Yelp. You've got Angie's List. You've got a whole series of different available resources that it's not your mom, it's not your dog, it's not your ugly cousin Ralph who's writing your reviews. It's your actual customers who are giving their reviews. In addition to tapping your customers' social circles, you can persuade them of your trustworthiness through the effective use of social proof. According to Bright Local, 74% of customers say that reading a positive customer review increases their trust in a local business. We know this to be true, folks. This isn't rocket science. It's people science. If I can trust Joe and Joe says you're all right, I now know that I can trust you. Social proof effectively requires 2 things: a method for capturing it and the ability to display it effectively. As you gather your social proof, remember, not all examples are created equally. A testimonial that provides specific evidence of benefits is likely to perform better than a vague example. I'll give you an example. I made $72,567 with this system. that's better than I made money with this system, right? Now we have something to say, okay, that's a specific evidence of proof. Testimonials that appear to be from real people, in other words, those that include the reviewer's name, picture, and website or URL, will likely perform better than those with attributed sources or logos or no profile whatsoever. Multimedia testimonials, those incorporating product pictures or video reviews, will likely perform better than using text alone. We all have this really cool movie studio in our hands, and it's called our phones, right? And anytime somebody is doing, making a comment about your service or connecting with you and say something positive, you can whip out that phone, turn on the video camera and say, would you mind saying that again for the camera? I'm trying to collect all the positive juju I can get. And that is social proof that goes a long way. You gotta be able to display it appropriately so that it's visible at key points in your prospect's purchasing process. Here are some smart places to publish your social proof: your website homepage, your website landing pages, your website product pages, or your website pricing pages. Now, if you don't have a landing page, if you don't have product pages or pricing pages, use what you've got. Okay. But those are great places for social proof. Additionally, your social media profiles, your print advertising materials, and your email opt-in lead magnets. Each and every one of these are great places for your social proof that is out there saying, hey, you know something? I'm willing to hang it all out there. As you're going through this buying process, you're going to see 3 or 4 names of people who have been right where you are, and every one of them is happy today. Okay. And by the way, don't be freaked out if you get a bad review. It happens, right? And most people can tell the difference between, love, bleh, right? We know that person's probably having a bad day because there's an overwhelming support for you and your business. Let's talk about your surface credibility. Your surface credibility. Remember, we talked about presumed credibility. Then we talked a little bit about your social proof. Now let's talk about your surface credibility, that gut feel. When you visit a website of an unknown brand, do you trust the company in question? Do you think they're going to deliver on their brand promise? Or do you get a little sketch on the whole thing? At the very minimum, your website should use appropriate spelling and grammar, have a professional design with an engaging imagery, displays various safety signals, including the SSL encryption badge. Experience Pros went to a secure site a little while ago, and it's an important piece now because as the technology continues to move and trends continue to shift, now Google is saying to anyone and everyone who doesn't have a site, an SSL, saying, oh, we're not sure we trust this. Are you sure you want to proceed? Get yourself an SSL badge. Clearly states your website should clearly state your customer policies, protecting any personal information collected from your customers, and it should be very explicit about what actions will be taken using this information. The line you're looking for is, we will not sell your private information. Okay? Some good stuff. Building trust and credibility. We may continue this a little bit more, but before we do, we've got the bottom of the hour news, so stick with us. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Network.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Contact them on the web at experiencepros.com.
I'm Tom Busby, CNBC. No record closing highs today on Wall Street on worries about a possible government shutdown, lower oil prices, and a sell-off in General Electric on reports that it might be breaking up into several smaller companies. After the Dow shot up 250 points early in the session, even crossing 26,000 just for a short time, the blue chip index closed 10 points lower. The Nasdaq was down 37 and oil also lower, ending just under $54 a barrel. Now, if you plan on flying anywhere today, check with your carrier. Airlines have already canceled more than 800 flights because of a winter storm coming out of Texas. H&R Block announcing a deal with Walmart to become the retailer's exclusive tax software provider at stores and online. And McDonald's is going green. It's getting rid of foam and promising to use recycled or environmentally friendly materials for its burger wrappers, soda cups, Happy Meal boxes, and more worldwide. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Let's face it, we love Alexa, and we love to let her find your favorite radio station. This one, of course. But she could find us easier if we taught her a simple trick. To get started, simply say, Alexa, enable the 1690 KDMT skill. After she confirms, you can then say, Alexa, play 1690 KDMT. That's all you have to do, and Alexa will learn how to find us. You can listen to us through your Amazon, Echo, Echo Show, Echo Dot, and Amazon Tap devices. Alexa, what's your favorite radio station?
That's easy. Money Talk 1690 AM.
Forever My Girl is a modern-day prodigal son story. Country music star Liam Page never got over Josie, his one true love he left at the altar. But when he returns to his hometown years later, he's faced with the consequences of all he left behind.
Why'd you leave my mama?
I was young. I got lost.
But you found your way back now, right?
Find your way back home in the film NBC Raves will make you laugh, cry, and fall in love. Forever My Girl. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters Friday.
The lending floodgates are open at Stanford Funding. Hi, this is Willie Dan with Stanford Funding. Now has never been a better time to refinance or purchase a home in Colorado. We can still get 30-year fixed rates in the 3s and 15-year rates in the low 3s. So call now at 303-458-8200 and we can get you approved in hours, not days. So whether your credit is perfect or less than perfect, we have a loan program to fit your needs. New on the job, self-employed, primary residence, second home, investment property, does not matter. We can lend on all situations and all types of properties. So call your local Colorado lender now and talk directly to me, Willie Dan. I can personally answer any questions you have and walk you through the loan process myself like I have for so many others in Colorado and get the customer service you deserve. Don't wait. Call 303-458-8200 or apply online at stanfordfunding.com.
NMLS 306720. Credit score 660. Loan to value 90%. Licensed by the Division of Real Estate.
Tune in to Money Talk KDMT 1690 every Saturday at noon for the best advice on building that nest egg. You'll hear expert advice on feathering your nest, caching resources for the future, and going for the gold finches with a show that can put a little more green in your day-to-day living. While they may not be Wall Street wizards, they are the wizards of wildlife. And if you'd like to add these beautiful colors and melodious songs of wild birds to your portfolio, listen to Bird Talk Saturdays at noon on 1690 KDMT, presented by Wild Birds Unlimited. David and Scott Menno will enrich your life with tips on attracting birds, butterflies, bats, bees, and other things that don't start with the letter B. The Bird Brothers will bring you fascinating interviews, nature news, insights on building the best wild bird habitat, and we hope to bring you a smile and a chuckle or two as well. So listen to Bird Talk every Saturday at noon, right here on Money Talk 1690 KDMT.
Managing rental property isn't easy.
Yeah, hi, it's me from Apartment G.
Kind of like you're on call 24/7.
My apartment is flooding?
That's why H.E. Smith & Company is always there to help you manage your property.
Yeah, me again. You're not going to believe it, but it's freezing in here.
H.E. Smith & Company, residential property management for single-family homes, condos, townhomes, apartment buildings, everything. We have crews for maintenance. We find and screen the best tenants for you. With H.E. Smith & Company, the only management you have to do is deposit the check.
Yeah, me again in Apartment G. You know the toilet's running and the refrigerator's not.
At A.G. Smith & Company, we've been managing houses and apartments throughout Denver for 40 years. And when we're on the job, you don't have to be. Ask about our comprehensive management program, our free rental evaluation for your property. And remember, there's never a setup fee at H.E. Smith. Learn more today at agsmithco.com.
Yeah, it's me again.
H.E. Smith, always there.
The Experience Pros Radio Show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a business revolutionary by sharing a fan bragging story of great customer service by using the hashtag FanBrag or calling the Fan Braggin' hotline at 855-FAN-BRAG, FANBRAG. Now back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Angel is still under the weather. You've got me. And if you'd like to join the conversation, 303-632-4160, 303-632-4160. And we're right in the middle of a conversation about building trust with your customers online. We've covered a number of different credibility elements, and want to give a shout out to our listener, Elise, who took me seriously when I invited her and all of our listeners. If you want our report on how to get more out there to various media outlets, go to massivemediaexposure.com. Download, well, if you put in your email and your name, we will send you our report on how to get featured on the radio. And if you do step number 7, I promise, you'll see immediate results because you will get connected to a national organization that puts your interest in connecting with producers and talk show hosts and reporters in the same category. So basically it connects people. And so that is available for you at massivemediaexposure.com. And of course, once you do that, you can join our Experience Pros Network group. It's just called Experience Pros Network on Facebook. And when you do that, we may even give you a shout out like I'm doing for listener Elise and Brianne, who also joined us recently. So there you have that. Going to continue on our conversation a little bit about earning your customers' trust, because frankly, if you don't have your customers' trust, then you're going to find it very difficult to do anything in business. I'll give you an example of that. If it's true that what Bob Berg says, that people do business with people that they know, like, and trust, if you are not trustworthy, you're not going to get that business. It's just flat out straight the truth. Earned credibility comes from our own personal experiences. Did you have a positive customer service experience? Were you disappointed by the product that you received? You need to ensure that any actions that you take as a company aren't unintentionally sabotaging the trust that you've built by using the credibility indicators described earlier in the program. So think of it this way. Ask yourself the following questions. Are you overselling your product or services benefits? Are you exaggerating? When it is so important for Angel and I to be clear about what our brand promise includes. Our brand promise is we give you the tools, we enable you, we empower you to build your brand recognition. We put you on the tracks that point in the direction of becoming a micro influencer. And your results some results are instantaneously. As soon as you come on the air for the first time, you get that badge that says, I am a national contributor, right? On the Experience Pros radio show. But it gets bigger and better as the momentum builds, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. And frankly, that's a good question. What are you trying to accomplish? And that's something that we can discuss. Are you honest about the limitations of your offerings? We can't make your phone ring. When was the last time? And people's expectations, even when it comes to, and we're not talking about advertising on the radio. Angel and I, we don't offer advertising on the radio. That you can advertise on our show, but you'd have to go to our networks, either the home network here of 1690 KDMT or our national network through BizTalk Radio. You can advertise, but what we do offer is instantaneous credibility and recognition as an expert in your arena. So are you honest about the limitations of your offering? I can't make your phone ring. Maybe your phone will ring if you do a good enough job of representing who you are and what you're doing, but it has to be at the right time, at the right place. and with the right need in the same space? Are you transparent about your company's operations? Do you hold your cards close to the vest, or do you say, we're an open book? Take a look at us and who we are and what we do. Do you own up to the mistakes that you've made? Angel and I have probably made a few mistakes over the years. And in every situation where something has gone a little sideways, we've done everything that we know how to do in order to build a bridge, not a barrier. You can do that as well. And then do you keep customers in constant communication when those mistakes occur? I think communication is such an important piece to the puzzle. And as we talk about what builds that credibility, that trust, you got to understand that communication is a big, big part of that. No one wants to feel as if they've been taken advantage of. Operating behind closed doors can create exactly that perception, whether or not you're trying to rip off your customers. So Thomas Smale, who wrote this article, Thomas Smale is the founder of FE International, writes, being transparent means recognizing and being open about both your strengths and weaknesses. If your product isn't right for one of your leads, you should be secure enough to guide that lead in the right direction, even if the act means boosting your competitor's bottom line more than your own. I agree with that. We call it co-opetition, right? There's a lot of business out there in this world of ours, and you don't have to be the only game in town. In fact, if you have another game in town that is in the same space as you are, why not lift them up and try to help them? And especially if you are out of your league in other ways. Building trust with online customers, you got to remember they got more choices today than ever. As a result, their purchase decisions take into consideration a larger number of factors than businesses who that have any other point in time have ever had to deal with. Make sure that your company comes out on top by establishing a strong brand promise and then following through on the development of leveraging the 4 types of credibility available to you. It is a long-term game, but the results are worth it. Now, here's what I want to remind you about this. When I say it's a long-term game, it is. You know, the last person who came to me and said, we want to, I want to be known for who I am and what I do in a sea of a whole bunch of people like me. I told that person, you know, it's going to take some time. It builds over time, but we will see that happen. And typically you can see with social media now, again, knowing what I know, that it's not what you know, but who knows you. We're better at it today than we were 8 years ago. 8 years ago, if I took you on as a client, we were going to make you an influencer. We should expect that to happen at about year 3. Now, if I take you on and decide to make you an influencer, we can start to see tangible results within days, and then we can start to see significant results in just a few short months, less than a year for sure. Okay. So there's some thoughts on, you know, building trust. At the end of the day, folks, if you're not trustworthy, then there's no point in moving forward in whether a marketing campaign or anything else. You got to build that trust. You got to build that credibility. Credibility is probably the most critical, influential piece in creating an influencer. That credibility comes, again, we'll go over some of the different elements, if you will, because credibility comes from the different types of different shades of credibility, I should say, in this. And that first one that we talked about is brand credibility. This is your brand promise. All right. Then there's presumed credibility. That's other people are starting to say things about you, and I presume about you because I see your presence in a number of different places. Reputed credibility. Reputed credibility is what other people are truly saying about you. And then moving into that surface credibility, that's the very basics of what's happening in your world. Are you being explicit about how you're going to help and what you're going to do and how people are going to see results. And then, of course, there's the earned credibility that we had most recently just talked about. Lots of things to think about. If all that is overwhelming to you, because we did 3 segments on it, just go to massivemediaresults.com. Put your name and email in. I'll send you the 7-step report on how to get featured on the radio. And then we can make it a lot easier for you here at the Experience Pros. We'll be back right after these messages. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
KDMT, Denver's Money Talk 1690 AM.
The lending floodgates are open at Stanford Funding. Hi, this is Willie Dan with Stanford Funding. Now has never been a better time to refinance or purchase a home in Colorado. We can still get 30-year fixed rates in the 3s and 15-year rates in the low 3s. So call now at 303-458-8200 and we can get you approved in hours, not days. So whether your credit is perfect or less than perfect, we have the loan program to fit your needs. New on the job, self-employed, primary residence, second home, investment property, does not matter. We can lend on all situations and all types of properties. So call your local Colorado lender now and talk directly to me, Willie Dan. I can personally answer any questions you have and walk you through the loan process myself like I have for so many others in Colorado and get the customer service you deserve. Don't wait. Call 303-458-8200 or apply online at stanfordfunding.com.
NMLS 306720. Credit score 660. Loan to value 90%. Licensed by the Division of Real Estate.
Are you embarrassed by your smile? Are you unable to eat the foods you love, afraid to laugh, afraid to live a normal life, even afraid to go out in public? Dr. Barrett's with Barrett's Dental here. I believe that you deserve a smile that you can be proud of so you can live your life the way you want, with the peace of mind that you can smile without embarrassment and that your mouth is healthy. At Barrett's Dental, we want to help you get your life back. I invite you to my office for a free consultation where you can find out for yourself if you are comfortable at Barrett's Dental. We offer total dental solutions, meaning we can handle all of your dental care in one convenient location without referring you all over town. If you feel safe at Barrett's Dental, it's the last place you'll need to visit to get the care you need. Is the condition of your mouth causing you to live a life of quiet desperation? Call me. I'll take great care of you.
If you're looking for a safe place to take care of all your dental needs, call Barrett's Dental at 303-502-5527 or visit denverdentist.com.
Hi, it's Peter Boyles. 2009, I see an ad in Denver Magazine for a place called Cenegenics, and I give him a call, and I meet Dr. Julie McCallum. The rest is history. At the time, really, I was going through a hard time in my life, and again, I meet Dr. McCallum. She does so many changes for us. We did blood work, complete Cenegenics, and we came up with all this customized planning for me that included, still does include, workouts and eating plans and hormone nutritional supplements, and there's no magic pills. There's no magic milkshakes. You put in the work, you have the great doc, and you change your life. It does work. Again, ski all the time, ride your bike, ride your motorcycle.